Okay, well, Nigerian Computer Society, we don't play politics, but we show interest in governance. And governance and politics, they also go together. So if you are saying we don't show interest in politics, that is just the truth, but we show interest in governance. Recently, I wrote an article, and it has to do with the fact that the Nigerian Computer Society will also assess the digital savviness of political contenders. The essence is that even the rate we are moving now, even if you are not too, if it's not as we expected, we don't want anybody to get there and also start bringing us down. So we said we are going to also show interest, assess and evaluate these political candidates, and try to know those that majority of them, they are not digital native, like we mentioned. Since they are not digital native, many of them, some of them, yes. What level of interest do they have in IT? They don't have interest in IT. No matter our shout, no matter how we push them, we will not we will not move the way we want them to move. So we are interested in not only when they get to office. We want to charge them before they get to office. We want to bring IT to them and try to make them to look at IT like this, and also consider IT something they should put at the forefront of their policy and programs. Like I said also, is well, to us, the Nigerian Computer Society, it's not what you only put in your manifesto. Don't forget that some of these contenders also, they get consultants. They got consultants to help them to develop manifestos. And they all know where the world is going. They might want to talk about IT. But we will be able to make a decision more on your previous contribution to IT development. That will give us also sign on what you are going to do when you get there. It's not only about what to put in your manifesto. They can get manifestos. Some of them go abroad. You get people, powerful consultants, experts to help them to develop something very good and attractive. So we want to also know what have you been doing. Even no matter how small it is, how have you contributed? Even your own knowledge of IT. If you want to be a leader, you ordinary simple platform, can you use it? Have you also delivered lecture on the area of IT? What do you know about some of these emerging technologies? A little bit foundational, they are not experts. Because as a leader, your minister, people working under you, they will come up with proposals. And it is when you appreciate the proposal that you say, okay, let me approve it. And in approving it, you might need to take some risk. Can you take some risks on behalf of IT? Do you even believe in some of the content of the proposal? So we really want to know, not at the level of presidency alone, no. At the level of the state, people that will make informed decision. We are not going to say that vote for this governor or vote for this senator, but we showcase what you have done. And if you have not done enough, we also tell the world that this is the little you have been able to do. Based on that, people will take decision.
When should Nigerians look forward to this result? Any time frame decided yet?
You see, our target is that we want to complete this assessment before December. But the election is still going to be in February. After we have decided to do this, We were waiting for the completion of the primaries, and that have now been completed everywhere. Even vice presidential candidates have been chosen. It's only at the level of states. Some state governments have not chosen their deputies. But the work is going to start immediately after our conference. It's going to start immediately after our conference. I want to showcase them. We don't want to start talking to them when they get to office about IT. That is our idea. We don't want to start talking. Let them be aware of what we want now. When they go to office, we will tell them, but you promised us this and you are not doing it. When they get to office, we don't want to be lobbying these people. We want people that will accord the IT profession the necessary recognition. That would consider it also very necessary. That we have to develop IT. We have to incorporate IT into what we do. We have to, the digital economy policy, the e-governance policy, the broadband infrastructure policy of this nation. This current minister has a policy, on digital economy and communication growth. And then one of the targets is that by the year 2023, just next year, I want to attain a broadband penetration of 75% or so thereabout. Is that achievable? We are working towards making it achievable, So, and if you are talking about 2023, we are going to have a new administration in next year. Are you going to support that policy? What are you going to do to ensure that even if the current work we are doing on that policy, you don't come in and start pulling us down? So that is why we must show interest. We must let whoever is coming in as our leader, our leaders, they must also show interest in IT and ensure they provide support we need for us to get to where we want to get to, as a nation. Now our preparation, yes, election. INEC, yes, done it well in Ekiti, done it well also in Osun. Introducing BIVAS, which on the surface assessment will say that yes, it's working well. Well, technology is a very, very funny thing. That the use of that technology also needs to be further evaluated. People that want to compromise or create problems for your system, they are also studying that technology. And of course, the criminals, the cyber criminals or even the IT criminals, they will just be looking for a single loophole, vulnerability on your system to know how to. We have been trying to get in touch with INEC. I don't know why INEC is not ready to work with us. Even with the fact that the director of ICT in INEC is a fellow of the Nigerian Computer Society. We have written a series of letters. There was even a time we wrote that we wanted to serve as technology observer. We want to monitor. We want to use that one, because we do some little bit of data gathering, so that we can come up with some statistics. In fact, we have there is only one person as a data scientist in this area, and that's his function. But even with that, we didn't get any response. We were following off our letter, and we get that our letter will get to a table and nothing will happen on it. We don't know why that is happening, but we'll continue to push forward. Since I become the president, we have not been getting support. Like other establishment, government organizations that they're listening to us and so on and so forth. So it has been so difficult. Though we have sent proposals on how we can realize effective, e-election in Nigeria. We have sent proposals from today. Even with that, we didn't get any response. So we will continue to do what we are supposed to do in the area. We have been talking about e-voting long time ago. We have been saying that Nigeria is ripe for e-voting. But of course, we saw what happened last year when they were considering the last electoral act. Some people are still saying that because of there is no internet connectivity in all over the nation, to get people. But even if you are talking about e-voting, it can also be gradual. People that can vote at the comfort of their home, people in the cities, people in where there is, let them use their e-voting. Let us do this thing in phases. Let us have an hybrid voting method. You can go to a kiosk or a polling station if you care to do that. But if I can sit at the comfort of my home and also vote, that should also be supported. But there are so many issues that they are raising about it. But we have continued to tell them that even in US, we still do manual. People still go to queue, but people also do e-voting. So we are mature for that. And because of what? When we wanted to start, some people initially they didn't want to do online banking. We see that I was happening to you cannot send money I cannot send money to your account now in Nigeria, and I will hear that the money has entered somebody else's account. No. So JAMB now is doing exam online. I mean, he's using CBT. They download question, and after exam they upload question. They have centers in almost 700 and something centers in Nigeria. That has been working. We are also sending text messages to ourselves. We are using USSD. All these are working. In fact, our e-voting, it does not have to be computer-based voting. You can configure USSD to also use it to vote. Simple messaging from your phone, recognized number, and so on and so forth. We can combine different options to form our e-voting platform. So, but we have to still commend the current chairman of INEC for his effort. The man is working toward adopting technology. This one, last election, we now have a dashboard, that people will be monitoring online. When they finish counting, you enter. It goes to the dashboard, central, and you see the result. That is a very wonderful achievement, and we continue. I told somebody that the national election requires a lot more efforts. Yes, all of them mobilized. So everybody in INEC, Abuja, everybody in INEC, everywhere they went to Osun, they went to visit. They were able to realize that. But by the time we are having a national election, where we normally have two kind of election at the same time, maybe governorship and president at the same time. There are so many interests at that time. So that is why whatever INEC asks, the technology they are adopting, they need to subject it to more tests, more evaluation, because they need to stress test those platforms, security testing, configurations testing, safety testing, vulnerability testing, all forms of testing on those platforms will be very important to us. And those are the things we have been telling INEC that allow experts. There was a time we saw that INEC invited about 26 or 16 organizations that submitted proposal on how they can. I think they were companies. They wanted to propose platform they can use for e-voting. And I saw it. I met with these people. They are stakeholders in the IT ecosystem. And we know then that we saw this. We didn't invite stakeholders. We didn't hear from them. So we are still working on getting INEC to collaborate with us. If you have somebody in that kind of organization and he's saying, who is this organization? Well, the challenge we have here is that we even have our members and fellows there. So those are the issues. And of course, about election, we'll continue to do what we are supposed to do. You recall even some of our conferences, the theme has been, one of them was e-voting, e-governance, and so on and so forth. So it's something we have been talking about, and we'll continue to tell the world that Nigeria is also ripe for fully voting.